For more than half a century, the people of Grassy Narrows have lived with poisoned water, contaminated by mercury from a paper mill. Now comes an allegation from a whistleblower that he dumped barrels of the stuff into a pit, and the community is once again demanding action. Let's remind you of the location of Grassy Narrows. It's a remote First Nation in northern Ontario, about 90 kilometres from Kenora. Cameron McIntosh has our story tonight.
I got a fish.
In the waters of Grassy Narrows, the suspicions keep building up, as does evidence, say community leaders, that mercury is continuing to seep into the water here.
For me, the way I say it is like all these untruths are coming out in the open, and I feel like it's about time for like these things to come out now. It's good timing.
In the 60s and 70s, mercury discharged from this paper mill in Dryden, Ontario, flowed downstream to Grassy Narrows. Mercury is a neurotoxin. For decades, people here have had symptoms of brain disorders, including Judy De Silva.
The bottom line is that our people are poisoned.
Ontario has always insisted the mercury will flush itself out. But last month, a new study concluded levels are not going down.
That strongly suggested that there must still be an ongoing source.
Now this email, sent last year to the First Nation by a former mill employee who claims in 1972 to have buried 50-plus drums of mercury near the site, saying he was writing out of guilt and to share information you may not be aware of. Chief Simon Fobister is convinced there's a link.
We want that site located. We want that site cleaned up.
Ontario's Environment Ministry says it knows of just one site where mercury was buried. It says none has seeped out. But the Premier concedes there might be more to the story.
If there is still a continued source of mercury leakage, obviously we're going to remove that in the best way possible and do it as quickly as we can.
There have been promises before. After decades of problems, actions speak louder than words here.
We want this river cleaned up, and that's the bottom line. No, there's no, we just want action now.
Next week, Ontario's Ministers of the Environment and Aboriginal Affairs will visit Grassy Narrows along with government scientists to take a fresh look at new claims. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.